they promised to keep it private. But Shen Yue's ring says everything about Dylan Wang. Fans can't stop talking, and maybe, just maybe, the truth is finally out. Let's begin. For years, Dylan Wang and Shen Yue have been at the center of endless rumors. Ever since they starred together in Meteor Garden, their chemistry was undeniable. On screen, their characters made audiences swoon. Off-screen, their quiet moments, their laughter, their glances, made people wonder if something more was happening behind the cameras. But both Dylan and Shen Yue had one rule: keep their personal lives private. No flashy confessions. No unnecessary scandals. Just their work, and a silence that made fans all the more curious. And then, something happened. Recently, Shen Yue was spotted at a low-key event. She wasn't doing anything unusual, just smiling, greeting fans, and taking a few photos. But there was one detail, one tiny, shining detail, that changed everything. On her hand, resting quietly, almost naturally, was a ring. Not just any ring. A delicate, elegant band, simple but impossible to miss. It wasn't the kind of accessory you just throw on for fashion. It was the kind of ring that tells a story. Fans noticed immediately. "Is that what I think it is?" One fan wrote online. "Wait, she's wearing it on that finger." And in the world of celebrities, especially when it comes to someone as loved as Shen Yue, that one little gesture speaks volumes. Of course, people started connecting the dots. Shen Yue and Dylan Wang haven't been seen together in public often. But whenever they are, the sparks are undeniable. At award shows, he can't stop stealing glances at her. During interviews, his laughter always grows softer when she's around. And in behind-the-scenes clips, there's a comfort between them, like two people who know each other far more deeply than the cameras will ever capture. So when Shen Yue stepped out with that ring, the whispers began. Could it be Dylan Wang? Could he be the reason behind her quiet smile that day? Could this ring be a silent promise, shared between them away from the spotlight? Because let's be honest, it's not the first time fans have caught something suspicious. Think back to just a few months ago, when Dylan Wang uploaded a casual photo to his social media. At first glance, it was nothing unusual. Just him, relaxed, enjoying a quiet evening. But eagle-eyed fans noticed something in the corner of the frame. A reflection, a shadow, a small glimpse of someone else. And that someone else looked a lot like Shen Yue. The internet exploded with theories. Some brushed it off as coincidence. But others, those who've been watching closely, knew it was too perfect to ignore. So now, with Shen Yue's ring in the spotlight, the puzzle pieces seem to be falling into place. Not because they said anything. Not because they announced it publicly. But because love, no matter how carefully hidden, has a way of showing itself. But here's the fascinating part. Dylan and Shen Yue's decision to keep everything private isn't unusual. In fact, in Chinese entertainment culture, many celebrities protect their personal lives fiercely. Because love, real love, is fragile under the weight of fame. One public appearance, one careless photo, and suddenly, the story isn't theirs anymore. It belongs to millions of strangers, dissecting every detail. So they chose silence. They chose privacy. They chose to live quietly, even if it meant fans were left guessing. And maybe that's what makes Shen Yue's ring so powerful. Because it wasn't announced in a headline. It wasn't revealed in a flashy event. It wasn't teased for attention. It just appeared. Softly. Naturally. Almost like it wasn't meant for the world to see, only for her to remember. But now the world has seen. And the question is, what happens next? Fans are already divided. Some are overjoyed. I knew it. Dylan and Shen Yue are endgame. One fan posted, their excitement impossible to hide. Others are cautious. Maybe it's just fashion. Maybe we're reading too much into it. But deep down, people know. When it comes to Shen Yue, fashion is never accidental. Her style is subtle, thoughtful, and meaningful. So for her to wear a ring on that finger, it's a choice. A deliberate one. And if it truly connects back to Dylan Wang, then it's a quiet confirmation of everything fans have been hoping for. Two people, bound not by publicity, not by industry expectations, but by something real, Imagine it. Dylan Wang, known for his confident, playful personality, choosing a ring. Not a flashy, over-the-top jewel, but something simple, elegant, timeless. The kind of ring that says, "This is forever." The kind of ring that matches Shen Yue perfectly, graceful, understated, yet unforgettable. And imagine Shen Yue receiving it. Her eyes lighting up, her smile softening, her heart whispering yes without a word spoken aloud. That moment, private, precious, unseen by the world, might be the most beautiful chapter of their story. It's easy to forget sometimes that behind the glamorous images and endless fan theories, Dylan and Shen Yue are just two people. Two people navigating love in a world that doesn't always allow them the freedom to express it openly. Two people who promised each other one thing: privacy. But privacy doesn't mean absence. Privacy doesn't mean distance. Privacy simply means their story belongs to them first. And Shen Yue's ring, shining quietly, without announcement, might be her way of saying, yes, it's real, but it's ours. So what does this mean for the future? Will Dylan Wang and Shen Yue ever confirm it publicly? Will they walk hand in hand one day, no longer afraid of cameras? Or will they continue as they always have, letting the world guess, while building their love story in the shadows? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear. Sometimes, silence speaks louder than words. And sometimes, one ring tells a story bigger than any headline. Fans are already imagining what comes next. Whispers of a wedding. Dreams of seeing them side by side, exchanging vows. Pictures of a future where their private promise becomes a public reality. And while none of that is certain, Shen Yue's ring has made one thing undeniable. There is love here. Love strong enough to survive secrecy. Love brave enough to endure the spotlight. Love quiet enough to shine even without words. They promise to keep it private, but Shen Yue's ring says everything about Dylan Wang. And maybe, just maybe, it's the most beautiful love story they've never told. But the story doesn't end with a ring. In fact, maybe this is just the beginning. Because if Shen Yue is truly wearing Dylan Wang's promise on her hand, then what comes next could change everything. Imagine this. A quiet evening, far away from the cameras. No lights. No reporters. No fans pushing in from every direction. Just Dylan and Shen Yue, sitting together, maybe on a rooftop, maybe by the ocean. He takes her hand. The world outside is loud, but between them, there's only silence. The kind of silence that feels like home. And in that moment, words aren't needed, because the ring already said it all.